What if Red Harlow was in the Vanderlyn gang? Red Dead Revolver and Red Dead Redemption are separate universes, but let's say they coexisted in one. As we know, Red Dead Revolver took place in the 1880s and Red Harlow was in his mid-20s. When his parents were killed in 1876, Red Harlow was 14. And around the mid-1870s, Dutch and Hosea formed the Vanderlyn gang. And in 1877, Arthur joined the gang. Let's say Dutch and Hosea saw a 15-year-old boy in town who was alone. Then Dutch and Hosea took that boy in, and that boy was Red Harlow. Around 1877, Red Harlow joined the gang, and he was some years older than Arthur. Dutch and Hosea would teach Red Harlow everything. As time passes by, more members came in like Strauss and Pearson. At 14, Red Harlow's parents died in 1876, so he was born in 1862, making him 1 year older than Arthur. Anyways, it's 1885, and another boy joined the gang, John Marston, and Red Harlow would be around 23 years old. In the mid-1880s, Red Dead Revolver took place. But now, since Red Harlow is in the Vanderlyn gang, he eventually finds his parents' killers. But he's not alone. He's got the Vanderlyn gang by his side. Arthur and Red Harlow are a year apart, so they are like best friends. Red Harlow and Arthur are getting faster and stronger, and they both are the muscle of the Vanderlyn gang. Time passes by, and more members came in like Bill Williamson and others. In 1894, Uncle joins the gang. And yes, Uncle is not Red Harlow. Arthur and Red Harlow grow to be the fastest gunslingers, and just these two can solve any problem. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place, and it's 1899. Red Harlow is 37 years old, and Arthur is 36 years old, as we know. The Blackwater Massacre would still happen because Micah and Dutch get a bit greedy and things were messed up. But with Red Harlow around, things might not get out of hand that much. Maybe Mac, Davy, and Jenny never die, and Red Harlow protects them. The gang would escape to Coulter and would hold up there. Now, Chapter 1 will go exactly the same with Red Harlow being around. Chapter 2 is the most beautiful chapter, and everyone is in joy after escaping from Blackwater. Chapter 3 is just a feud between families, and Sean gets killed. These chapters happen exactly the same, but they might not be as catastrophic, and some deaths can be avoided, like Hosea and Lenny. In Guarma, Red Harlow goes with the gang, and they barely escape from there. Real change comes in Chapter 6, where the gang splits and everything is messed up. Micah constantly manipulates Dutch while feeding info to the Pinkertons. Red Harlow, knowing Arthur has TB, will insist he rest, but Arthur only wants his redemption and wants Red Harlow, John, and his family to get out of this life. After all these deaths and Dutch's craziness, Arthur just wants to save anyone he can. In the last mission, Red Harlow takes Arthur's side with John, and when John escapes and Micah attacks, Red Harlow would be with Arthur, and the two of them will beat the shit out of Micah, killing him. Red Harlow takes Arthur and reunites with John. They all live somewhere else, and after some days, Arthur passes away quietly in his sleep, surrounded by his family. Red Harlow and John bury Arthur. After that, John and his family leave for Yukon, and Red Harlow wanders around living in peace. He takes up bounty hunting and may help Sadie Adler sometimes. Time passes by and it's 1907. John and his family come back from Yukon and they want to build their lives. Red Harlow would be 45 years old. He would be retired and living his life in peace. When John comes back, they reunite and Red Harlow helps John build his ranch with Charles and Uncle. Now things are peaceful and there's no need for revenge since Micah was already killed. But let's say Edgar Ross eventually catches up to John. It's 1911 and John is out there to capture Bill, Javier, and Dutch. Red Harlow in 1911 would be 49 years old. He'd be old. He may help John if he still has it, but by then he'd be too old. Let's say he still is fit and helps John. He is still fast and has a great advantage in John's adventures. John and Red Harlow would wander around Mexico and New Austin, and eventually they will capture Bill and Javier. Now Red Harlow and John face off against Dutch. Since Red Harlow is one of the first members of the gang, Dutch would be more broken, and like in every what if, he jumps off the cliff and John gets his family back. Ross attacks with the army, and John sacrifices himself for his family. Now in 1914, Red Harlow would be 52 years old. By then, he would be one of the oldest gunslingers to live if he doesn't die. Anyway,